Good evening and welcome to the season finale of Duck TV News. I'm Kate Houston.
And I'm Spencer Herbis. Here are tonight's top stories. The College of Education Student Diversity Affairs Committee kicked off the first of a series of forums on race. The event was titled Needed Conversations, Supporting African Americans and Black Graduate Students in the Classroom and Beyond. The forum allowed panelists to share their experiences with race in Eugene. Catherine Woods, an education graduate student who spoke on the panel, expressed what she thinks the community could do to help create a more inclusive environment.
If we can have conversations like this and get to know one another, I think that will help us to have more respect for one another and have more empathy for one another.
The next event will be held on January 13th and will focus on Latino students and faculty.
In response to the presidential election, many students across the nation have expressed their discontent by protesting and other peaceful demonstrations. Recently, UO students participated in a national walkout. Jasmine McKinley has the story.
It was here, at the EMU amphitheater, where students gathered after marching out of their classes at the University of Oregon. This was part of a walkout happening in schools across the nation, with the goal of creating a sanctuary on campus. The movement involved 9 different student speakers discussing discriminatory problems towards race, sex, and the LGBTQ community based off the recent election. One of the speakers, Abab Awawi, expresses his reactions to the walkout.
I was overwhelmed with positivity and hope that there is a community here on campus that cares about other people, that is proactive.
Overall, the rally aimed to bring strength and unification across campus to create a safer space amongst all. Awawi mentions the goal for these student groups and all students on campus.
I think the ultimate goal is for us is to reach out to those who we differ with. Not necessarily just strengthen our community, that's a priority, but also to reach out to the people who are not the same.
Speakers from student groups listed off demands they had for the university to create a more inclusive community. Some of these demands were for the university officials to hire more ethnic professors and to raise the acceptance rate for Indigenous people and refugees. Student groups on campus say if their demands are not met soon, then the protests will continue and there will be no end in sight. For Duck TV News, I'm Jasmine McKinley.
Thanks, Jasmine. To follow the movement, check out the hashtag #SanctuaryCampus on social media.
A local Eugene business is now supporting the safety pin movement. Kendra Fagerberg has the story.
I'm standing outside Morning Glory Cafe, a local vegan and vegetarian restaurant that has recently been promoting the safety pin movement. The movement began shortly after the election of President Donald Trump and has gone viral ever since. The safety pin is a symbol of strength, unity, and solidarity. Sabrina Stiegel, a student from the University of Oregon, has seen the movement gain popularity through social media.
If you're on Instagram or anything, you'll see people with their safety pins and stuff like that, and just Twitter has it too, pretty much any social media platform.
There has been over 100,000 shares on Facebook, and the movement has drawn the support of high-profile celebrities such as Olivia Wilde. The cafe has set up a bowl by the cash register with a sign nearby explaining the meaning behind the safety pins and an invitation to participate. Gertie Ferguson, a server at Morning Glory Cafe, believes there's more to the movement besides wearing a safety pin.
I think people wanting to be allies is really important, but I think that it's also really important to make sure that you know what being an ally means, and wearing a pin is a really nice gesture, but there's a lot that should come along with it.
This movement originated in the UK after Brexit and gained popularity in the US to show support for minorities after this recent presidential election. For Duck TV News, this is Kendra Fagerberg.
Thanks, Kendra. The University of Oregon is also promoting the safety pin movement by having a tabling event on Thursday, December 1st.
Next fall, a new residence hall focused on media and social action will open on campus. Students that are interested in journalism and passionate about social issues can live there among 500 other students. SOJC faculty will teach residents how to use digital and print media to raise awareness about social issues. An RA position has not been filled and is open to SOJC students.
A proposal to silence the trains in Eugene is headed to the City Council. The Eugene Public Works Department partnered with an 11-member Citizens Advisory Panel to create a proposal for railroad quiet zones. The 10 proposed quiet zones in downtown Eugene and the Whitaker neighborhood would not allow trains to blow their whistles and would require additional safety measures to be built. The recently completed proposal would settle the complaints about this noise while maintaining safety around the tracks. The project has an estimated cost of $7.3 million. And now we toss it to sports for their final broadcast. Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Bella Manning.
And I'm Gabby Arenda. Today we're covering basketball and volleyball, but first we have some big news from Oregon football.
Oregon football head coach Mark Helfrich has been fired. Athletic director Rob Mullins announced this in a press conference late Tuesday night. This decision comes after a loss to the Oregon State Beavers, which ended the Duck season with a record of 4-8. This is the Oregon's worst finish in 25 years. Mullins addressed the details behind Helfrich's exit.
When you make a change like this after considerable thought, it's never just one thing. You look at the totality of the program. So it's both what happens on the field and off the field.
Oregon hasn't fired a head coach since 1976 and will look outside of the program for his replacement.
With the departure of Scott Frost to Central Florida, there's no apparent heir within the program to fill the Oregon head coach position. Mullins did not speculate on individual replacements, but he did talk about what traits he is looking for in one.
So now we turn to identifying and securing the next head coach of Oregon football, and for the first time in decades, we'll seek a coach outside of our current staff. I'll not put a timeline on the search, though we'll work efficiently.
While Mullins did not speculate, some coaches that Oregon fans might want to see on the sideline are former LSU head coach Les Miles, Boise State coach Brian Harsin, and Western Michigan coach PJ Fleck.
The Oregon Ducks men's basketball team will follow up the Maui Invitational with a 9-game homestand here in Oregon. The team began the tournament with a loss against Georgetown on Monday, but bounced back with an overtime win against Tennessee and a 79-69 win against UConn. The Ducks took on Boise State this past Monday, and after a close game, they defeated the Broncos with a score of 68-63. Oregon is very happy to have Dylan Brooks healthy again, as he was out for the first 3 games due to a foot injury. The team sorely missed the AP preseason All-American during his absence. Oregon's run will continue on Saturday at 3 p.m. against Savannah State.
The Oregon women's basketball team will continue its non-conference schedule at home this week. The team will take on Vanguard Lions in the exhibition game and the Portland Pilots shortly after. The Ducks are coming off a solid performance at the Rainbow Wahine Showdown in Hawaii. Oregon defeated Michigan State 88-55, but lost its first game of the season to the highly ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs 75-63. The Ducks flew again by beating the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, followed by conquering the San Jose State Spartans.
The Oregon volleyball team was selected on Sunday night to participate in the NCAA tournament. The team will take on the Miami University Redhawks tomorrow in the opening round at 2:30 p.m. in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Ducks finished 4th in the Pac-12, which allowed them a solid chance to compete in the playoffs. This will be the team's 6th straight appearance in the tournament and 14th in program history. If the Ducks defeat the Redhawks, they will play the winner of the Michigan American game in the second round on Friday at 4:30 p.m. Far too often on the University of Oregon campus, generalizations are drawn about the athletic prowess of Black students. Deuce Woodson has more.
The 3 most popular sports at the University of Oregon, football, men's basketball, and track and field, have the highest percentage of Black student athletes on their respective teams. However, those percentages don't correlate with the overall university, and some student athletes think it's even more alienating. Combining the total number of players on the 3 teams mentioned earlier, there are roughly 217 student athletes. Of the 217, 39% are Black. The percentage might not seem that high. However, considering the overall U of O student body, Black students make up just under 2% of the 24,000 plus students. We talked to a football player who wished to be kept anonymous, and he said, "I get asked all the time if I'm a football player, even when I'm not wearing anything football related. This kind of questioning isn't limited to just athletes either."
People would literally try to convince me that I was on the team.
Senior advertising major Isaac Bell is not and has never been an athlete for the school. However, he says he was mistaken for an athlete throughout his entire first year of school.
After a whole year, like, y'all should know I'm not on the team. And this isn't just students, this is faculty as well.
Bell believes with the prominence of athletics mixed with the lack of Black students, it creates a racist implication.
When you create a reputation and you're telling people that you're a diverse university in that sense, especially when you're trying to get more Black people, by having that disproportionality. You're telling people who are black, don't come here unless you're playing sports.
Bell and the anonymous player both agree hiring more black professors and changing a racist past is a step in the right direction towards trying to increase the black student body population. They also agree that the university is still far from where many would expect. After many months of consideration, the U of O changed the name from Dunn Hall to Cedar Hall, named after Frederick Dunn, who's a former active member of the KKK. Now, with Dee Dee Hall's name up for consideration as well, it could show the U of O is attempting to have not only a more inclusive environment for black students, but black student athletes as well. Reporting from Cedar Hall with Duck TV Sports, I'm Deuce Woodson. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Deuce. Gabby, you know what sucks? This is the last time we're going to be students during the holidays.
Well, we better load up on that free food. Well, that wraps up our sports segment for the term. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Duck TV Sports and check out our website.
And from all of us here at Duck TV Sports, we want to wish you a very happy holidays. Now back to Kate and Spencer for news. With December just around the corner, Christmas trees are in high demand, and Oregon is home to the largest Christmas tree farm in the nation. 6 weeks before the holiday season begins, the Schroeder Brothers Farm hires helicopters to haul the trees to big trucks, which then transport them to California and Texas. According to the Oregon Department of Agriculture and the Pacific Northwest Christmas Tree Association, Oregon harvested the largest number of trees in the U.S., an estimated 4.7 million trees.
The holiday season is here, which means Starbucks has rolled out their holiday cups. The Red Cup tradition started in 1997. This year's design features 13 pieces of customer artwork from around the world. Last year, the company made national news after receiving negative feedback for its plain red cups. Many viewed the lack of design as being boring and too politically correct. Duck TV asked students for their opinions on this year's edition.
I think that, for one, it's, interesting, and two, it kind of, makes a major corporation seem, not so corporation-esque.
I think it gives people an extra boost, even though they're drinking coffee. To get that one boost, it gives you an extra boost of holiday spirit.
I think it's cool to be able to say that someone designed it instead of just the company or someone at the company designing it.
Business critics are applauding Starbucks for their comeback from last year's negative response. Students, however, seem to be more focused on the quality of the beverage than design.
That's all we have for this week. From all of us here at Duck TV News, thank you so much for watching this term. I'm Spencer Herbis.
And I'm Kate Houston. Have a great night and a safe winter break, everyone.